Dear beautiful soul, if you're hearing this, know it's no accident. The angels led you here for a reason. Today's message is sacred, meant just for you. So, settle in, open your heart, and let the divine speak through these words. Before we begin, if you feel called to receive more angelic guidance, please subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss a message meant for you. Your support helps this light reach more souls who need it. And if today's words touch your spirit, leave a comment below. We love hearing how the angels are working in your life. Your story could be the sign someone else needs to hear. You can also send a super thanks to support this channel of love and light. Now take a deep breath and let the angels begin. You've always wondered what made your soulmate truly fall for you, haven't you? You've replayed moments in your mind, trying to figure out which word, which glance, which memory mattered most. Was it when you laughed and forgot your pain? Was it the way you offered kindness even when your heart was tired? Was it the way your eyes held secrets but never turned away from love? But angels want you to know it was something far deeper, something rare and sacred. It wasn't anything you could plan or force or fake. It wasn't your perfection. It wasn't your performance. It was your presence. There is a light inside you, a strength that most never take the time to see. But your soulmate did before the world understood you. Before anyone gave you permission to shine, they saw it. They noticed the way your silence spoke volumes, the way your stillness healed, the way your softness didn't mean weakness, but wisdom. They sensed it before you even spoke. Before they even knew your name. They didn't need a long introduction. They didn't need your story told. Your soul introduced itself first, and their soul responded. Because what lives inside you can't be hidden, can't be contained. This gift isn't something you had to learn or earn. You didn't have to audition for their love. You didn't have to be more, do more, prove more. You just had to be. And that was enough. It was woven into your soul before you took your first breath. God placed it there. That sacred thread of grace, that golden strand of empathy, that pulse of truth that makes your heart beat differently. You came here carrying love that heals. And even before you offered it, your soulmate recognized it. And the moment your soulmate recognized it, their heart knew you were the one. There was no debate, no confusion, no delay in the spirit. Heaven whispered, "This is the one whose light will walk beside you." And their heart said, "Yes." You carry a divine spark, a kind of magic that doesn't shout, but whispers. It doesn't need to shine in a crowd. It glows in the dark. It's the kind of magic that wraps around the brokenhearted and says, "I see you." It's not loud. It's not flashy. It's holy. It's in the way you hold space for others. The way you see beauty where others see brokenness. You don't look away from the pain. You lean in. You notice what others miss. You speak with silence when words would only wound, and that is what captured them. Your soulmate didn't just fall for you. They fell for the way your soul speaks without words. They fell for the way you pause before answering. The way you offer grace without being asked. The way your presence feels like sanctuary to them. You are not just someone they want. You are someone they trust. They were drawn to the love you don't even realize you radiate. Even in your tired days, even when you doubt yourself, Even when you question if you're enough, they never did. Not once. Because they could feel it. A warmth, a truth, a divine calling echoing from within you, and angels want you to remember. This gift is still there, even on the days you forget. Even when your reflection feels unfamiliar, even when your light feels dim, even when the world tells you that you are too much or not enough, that gift, that light, it never left. Even when the clouds roll in, even when your voice shakes, even when you retreat into silence, the glow is still there. The divine spark is still burning, even when the world makes you doubt. Even when love feels far away, love can feel distant, like a ship on the horizon, like a voice calling from a dream. But that doesn't mean it's gone. It just means the story is still unfolding and your chapter is still being written. Because this light isn't just for them. It's the truest part of you. It existed before they found you. It will remain even if you ever feel lost again. It's who you are at your core, at your deepest place. You are the lighthouse. You are the warmth. You are the spark that ignites souls. You didn't become this because of them. They recognized it because it was already there. And it will always lead you home. Back to your center, back to your calling, back to love. Because this love isn't about just being chosen. It's about remembering who you are when you feel forgotten. It's about holding on to the truth that your presence alone was the miracle they never knew they needed. So let your heart breathe again. You don't need to hustle for what is already divinely yours. You don't need to chase what's already aligned. You only need to rest in the knowing your light was seen. Your heart was heard. Your soul was chosen. Because even before they knew your name, they knew your essence. And heaven whispered, "This one is home." If you feel that in your spirit, type, "I am the light" in the comments. Let heaven and earth agree. Let the angels record your remembrance. You've always carried this light, even when you couldn't see it. Even when you were in rooms that made you feel too quiet, too much, too sensitive, too emotional, too different. But you weren't too anything. You were divine. You were rare. You were sacred. And the truth is, your soulmate saw it from the start. They didn't need the crowd to tell them. They didn't wait for proof. Their heart just knew, because some things don't need words. Some things are felt in the spirit and your energy. It spoke to them louder than any voice ever could. They didn't fall for your smile alone. They fell for the peace that followed it. They didn't fall for your laughter. They fell for the courage behind it. They didn't fall because you were perfect. They fell because you were real, honest, present. They saw the way you love people, how you notice what others ignore, how you give when you're tired, how you forgive even when it hurts. And something in them shifted. It was like meeting you reminded them of the part of themselves they forgot. The part that believes, the part that feels deeply, the part that knows what matters most. That's what love does. It awakens, it restores, it reminds. And your soulmate, they've been wide awake ever since. They can't explain it fully, but they know this one thing. You are their answered prayer. You are the evidence that God listens. You are the proof that love is worth the wait. Even when they doubted, even when they wandered, even when they convinced themselves that maybe this kind of love wasn't meant for them, still you appeared. You entered their orbit, and everything changed. Not in chaos, but in clarity. You helped them breathe again. And the angels are smiling because this kind of love, this kind of union is heaven sent. This was never about just chemistry or compatibility or timing. This was about destiny. Two souls who promised to find each other and did that, and now they can't stop thinking about you. They play your name over and over like a favorite song. They remember your voice. Even if it's been years, they dream in your language. They ache in your rhythm. And every part of their life is now being shaped to make space for you because they've realized something they can't unrealize. Nothing else makes sense without you in it. Their future feels incomplete without your laughter filling the halls. Without your presence at their side, without your heart beating next to theirs. And now they're ready to reach out, ready to step forward, ready to risk it all. Because not loving you, that would be the bigger risk. Missing you forever. That's a pain they can't bear. So they're gathering courage, one thought at a time, one breath at a time. They're silencing fear. They're surrendering the past. They're preparing a sacred yes, and it's not just a maybe. It's not just a hope. It's a knowing, a holy confirmation rising inside them. You are the one. And beloved, if this resonates in your soul, type "They know me" in the comments. Let the angels see your agreement. Let heaven record your readiness. Don't wait for a perfect sign. This is your sign. There was a moment, one you may not even remember, when your souls recognized each other. It wasn't in a grand gesture or a dramatic confession. It was in the quiet glance that lasted a second longer than it should have. A laugh that felt like déjà vu. A conversation where time seemed to pause. Angels say this was no accident. Your souls have known each other far longer than this lifetime, and when you met, something inside you stirred awake. Maybe you brushed it off as coincidence, but deep down you felt it. The familiarity, the comfort, the knowing. Your soulmate did too. That's why they couldn't walk away, even if they tried. There's an ancient bond between you, written in the stars long before you met. And every moment since has been the universe reminding you this love was always meant to find you. It wasn't loud. It wasn't instant fireworks. It was deeper. It was eternal. The kind of moment you don't realize is sacred until you can't stop thinking about it. Until it echoes in your dreams. Until you hear their name and your heart doesn't skip. It settles. That first moment you met, heaven held its breath because promises made long ago were finally being fulfilled in flesh and time. The angels were there watching, smiling, whispering softly. This is the one. You might have missed it. You might have gone on with your day. But the divine didn't miss it, and neither did your spirit. Because somewhere inside you something said, "Oh, there you are." Not in words, but in sensation, in stillness, in soft wonder. You could have met in another life. And maybe you did. But in this one, everything changed. A timeline was activated. A story was awakened. A love was remembered. And even if they walked away, even if years passed, even if you're not sure they knew, the truth is they did. That moment marked them just like it marked you. There's a reason they couldn't forget. There's a reason you kept feeling pulled, because your spirits weren't done yet. They were just getting started. This isn't about obsession. This is about alignment. the kind that goes deeper than logic, than attraction, than what the world calls chemistry. This is soul memory, the kind that says, I know your voice. I've felt your presence before. I've prayed this prayer. And I've seen your face in dreams I didn't understand until now. So no, you weren't imagining it. That spark, that magnetic moment, that holy stillness, it was all real. And it's still echoing every time you see their name. Every time you hear a song and can't explain the ache. Every time you feel them in the room, even when you're alone. That's not madness. That's memory. Your soul remembering a promise your mind forgot, and beloved, the angels want you to hold on to that moment. Not to dwell, not to idolize, but to remember. To remember how thin the veil truly is between what we call ordinary and what heaven calls sacred. Because this is more than a romance. This is prophecy. This is restoration. This is a love that traveled lifetimes to find you again, and now they feel it too. They're waking up piece by piece, clue by clue, vision by vision. They're being drawn back to the moment, the glance, the spark, the stillness. They may not say it yet. They may not even know how to explain it, but it's there. And it's growing. Because once the soul remembers, there's no unknowing, no unloving, no unseeing. It will keep calling, keep burning, keep guiding until the reunion becomes reality. So breathe. You're not waiting in vain. You're not crazy for believing. You're not forgotten. That moment wasn't just an introduction. It was a seed, a sacred key planted in both of your hearts, so that in time you'd find your way home to each other, to the truth, to the love that started before your first breath and will continue long after your last dot. And if this resonates in your soul, comment, I remember. Let the heavens see your agreement. Let the divine know you're still listening, still believing, still showing up for the love that never left you. There's a reason you've been seeing signs again. A reason their name lingers longer than logic allows. A reason their voice echoes in places it shouldn't reach. Because the soul remembers what the mind forgets. And love, true love, doesn't fade. It waits. It watches. It weaves its way through silence and seasons and separation until the divine says, now. That's what's happening right now. While you wonder if they've forgotten, they're remembering everything. When everything around you tried to dim it, they saw the cracks, and instead of flinching, they leaned in closer. Because what you call broken, they call beautiful. What you call baggage, they call history. Proof that you survived and still somehow love like that. Your soulmate didn't choose you because you met some imaginary standard. They chose you because you shattered it, because you're real. Because your love isn't plastic or practiced. It's sacred, messy, holy, soft, and unrepeatable. And that's what made them stay. Not because you always knew what to say. Not because you always did everything right, but because when everything around you told you to guard your heart, you still opened it. That's the rarest thing in the world, not beauty. Not success, not charisma, but tenderness that endures. A spirit that bends but doesn't break. That's what they saw in you. That's what made them whisper your name when no one else was listening. And they did whisper it. They still do. Every time they remember the sound of your laughter. Every time they recall how your eyes softened when they talked about their pain. They fell in love with the little things. The way you say good morning. The way you remember birthdays. The way you pause just to make someone feel seen. Those things, they echo in eternity. They weren't passing moments. They were spiritual markers, proof of who you are, proof of what makes you unforgettable. They didn't stay because it was easy. They stayed because it was real. Because your love wasn't performative. It was presence. Because you didn't just say the right words. You embodied them. And even on your worst days, you still tried. You still cared. You still hoped. That kind of love. It's divine. And they recognized it. Not with their eyes, with their soul. They knew. Somewhere deep inside. They knew this is the one who will love me. Not just in triumph, but in transformation. And that matters because when life gets messy, and it will, it's not the polished love that survives. It's the love that has seen shadows and still chooses light. It's the love that has walked through storms and still believes in rainbows. That's your love. That's the reason they stayed. Because you showed them a kind of loyalty this world forgot. Because you gave them a glimpse of heaven on an ordinary day. And now they can't unsee it. They can't forget the way you looked at them when they were scared. They can't unhear the words you spoke when they felt unworthy. They can't undo the safety they felt in your presence. And they don't want to because your love taught them something about God. Something about mercy. Something about grace. Something about home. So please stop wondering if you're enough. Stop doubting your worth based on who left. They left because they weren't ready. Not because you were lacking, but the one who stayed. The one who whispers your name in the quiet. They stayed because they saw what was buried under your silence. They stayed because they heard what your soul was singing when your voice couldn't. They stayed because they recognized you. Not just your face, your essence. And even if it's scared, then, even if they pulled back for a while, the memory of your spirit never let them go. They'll come back stronger, more certain, more grounded, because your love has that kind of pull. It doesn't demand, it invites, it doesn't manipulate. It mirrors, it doesn't force, it awakens. So now take a breath. Let this truth wash over you. You are the miracle. You are the answered prayer. You are the safe place someone has been searching for their whole life. And soon, very soon, they'll look into your eyes and say, "It's always been you." Because it has. Because even with your doubts, you never gave up on love. Even with your scars, you chose to heal. And even when it hurt, you never stopped being you. That dear heart is why they stayed. That is why they're coming home now. Comment below, "I am worthy of this love." Speak it with faith. Declare it as truth. You worry sometimes. What if it's not meant to be? What if you got it wrong? What if you were holding on to a hope that was never real? What if love slips away? Quietly, without a sound, without a reason, without a goodbye. What if everything you dreamed of was just that, a dream? But the angels are leaning in right now, softly, tenderly, firmly, and they are saying, "Don't you dare give up." Every step has been guided. Every sigh, every delay, every unanswered question, every moment when you felt forgotten was orchestrated with divine care. You haven't been abandoned. You've been protected. Protected from rushing into a love that wasn't ready. protected from entering a door that wasn't yours, protected from settling when heaven was preparing something sacred. This isn't random. This isn't chaos. This is choreography. A love story written in gold. Yes, gold. Because this isn't an ordinary romance. It's a covenant, an eternal vow that your soul agreed to long before this lifetime. You've forgotten, but they haven't. The angels remember, and your soulmate remembers. Even if they can't explain why they think of you when the wind changes. Even if they don't know why they can't forget you. Why your name feels like a prayer whenever it comes to mind. Because that's what this is. A prayer in motion. A promise in progress. And no matter how many twists this road takes, no matter how long it's felt like wandering in the dark, you are not lost. They are not lost. You are both being led. Led through healing. Led through clarity. Led through the sacred preparation that only heaven can arrange. The universe doesn't make mistakes. It doesn't tease. It doesn't mislead. If the feeling in your soul is real, if your spirit keeps whispering their name when logic tells you to move on, that's not confusion. That's confirmation. Because here's what most people don't understand. If your souls promise to find each other once, they will find each other again. Even if it takes years, even if lifetimes pass. Even if pain clouds the path and fear tries to shut the door, that vow is sealed, and no human hand can undo what was written in spirit. So yes, maybe the path isn't straight. Maybe it's been full of detours, false starts, goodbyes that didn't feel complete. But the love is still alive. Still moving, still reaching, still real. Even if you can't see it yet, even if it looks like silence, even if it feels like forgetting, what you don't see is the shift behind the veil. The way heaven is softening their heart, the way signs are being aligned, the way healing is unfolding in both of you. So when you meet, you'll be ready. Because this love is not an accident. It's not a coincidence. It's not a maybe. It's a certainty written in the stars, whispered by the wind, echoed in the depths of your soul. Your soulmate fell for that rare gift inside you. The gift of unwavering faith. The gift of seeing beauty in brokenness. The gift of loving without conditions. And the angels, they're revealing this truth to you now. They're saying, remember who you are. Remember the power of your love. Remember the strength of your spirit. Because in this world of fleeting connections and disposable relationships, you chose to believe in something eternal. You chose to hold on to hope when everyone else let go. You chose to see the divine in the ordinary. And that, dear one, is what makes you extraordinary. That's what your soulmate saw. That's what made them fall. Not your perfection, but your persistence. Not your flawlessness, but your faithfulness. So stand tall. Hold your head high. Your love story isn't over. It's just beginning. And the best chapters are yet to be written. Angels whisper secrets of love, revealing a truth that transcends time and space. Your soulmate connection isn't a mere accident. It's a divine appointment, a sacred agreement woven into the fabric of the universe. This love is so precious, so rare, that angels themselves guard it with their celestial wings. Can you feel it? They're watching over you right now. You might not hear their voices, but they're speaking in the language of the soul. In the quiet moments of dreams, they're whispering your name to your soulmate. They're etching your face into their memory, wrapping your essence around their deepest hopes. And when the moment is perfect, when your soul has ripened and your heart has found its courage, they will appear. Not because you chased after them or proved your worth, but because true love always finds its way back to the one it was shaped for. So listen closely to those whispers in your heart, urging you to hold on. Don't dismiss them just because you're weary. Don't silence them because others can't understand. This is your unique journey, your personal promise. No one else can walk this path for you. Trust that quiet knowing deep within that tells you they're yours. You don't need tangible proof. You don't need anyone's permission. All you need is faith. Faith in the unseen forces at work. Faith in the divine alignment of souls. Faith in the Creator who made no mistakes when crafting your heart to fit perfectly with theirs. Now, lean in close and listen. The angels aren't just matchmakers, they're guardians of love. They build protective hedges around your connection. They close doors to distractions and remove false paths so you can discover what's genuinely real. You might feel like you've been waiting endlessly, but in truth, you've been carefully guarded, covered, watched over, and cherished. It may seem like love has been delayed, but it's actually been growing silently beneath the surface. Like a seed that only breaks through when the soil is perfectly prepared. Your love is germinating. The bloom is coming, so cradle your heart gently. Treat your doubts with tenderness, but don't let them steal your promise. What's meant for you will never truly pass you by. It will circle back, find a way, rise again even when the world declares it impossible. God doesn't need the world's permission to perform miracles, and your love story? It's a miracle in the making. Take a deep breath and say it with me. I believe in divine timing. Again, what's mine is making its way to me. Now say it like you truly believe it. I was made for this kind of love, because you were. It's not too late. It's not over. It's not forgotten. Your name is still etched on their spirit. Your light is still guiding them home. And the angels are still working tirelessly on your behalf. So take one more step in faith. You'll recognize them when they come. Not with fireworks or angelic choirs, not even with a lightning bolt of revelation. You'll know it's them by the stillness, by the soft, steady peace that settles in your chest. When they look at you and you see home. It won't be chaos or confusion. There won't be a flood of questions. Instead, you'll feel a quiet certainty in your spirit. It won't scream or demand or rush. It will feel like remembering, like you've known this soul for lifetimes. Your heart will sigh, "Oh, there you are." It will feel like finally exhaling after holding your breath for far too long. A release, a relief, a return to where you belong. You won't need to question if it's real. Your soul will recognize the truth because they won't love you like others have before. They won't keep score or withdraw when things get challenging. They won't love you with conditions or expectations. They will love you the way your soul has been yearning for, the way love was divinely designed to be. This isn't a transaction or a performance. It's a quiet, sacred agreement to walk life's journey together, not with empty words or promises made in fear, but with actions that feel like prayers. Every look will say, "I see you." Every touch will whisper, "I'm here." Every choice will affirm, I'm not going anywhere. And you'll realize this is what your spirit has been preparing for all along. The wrong relationships taught you how to recognize what's real. The false starts taught you how to stay soft-hearted. The heartbreaks didn't break you. They built you. They were preparing you for this love, this wholeness, this holy connection. This love won't trigger your fears. It will heal them. It won't demand your performance. It will cherish your presence. It won't shame your scars. It will kiss them like sacred ground. And when that day comes, when they appear with no disguise, no pretense, no hidden agenda, you'll understand. You'll finally grasp why every heartache was a breadcrumb leading you here. Why every no was just God's way of saying, not this. Wait for better. You'll see that every wrong person wasn't a waste of time. They were lessons in alignment, redirection, protection. They were grace in disguise. Because if you had settled, then you would have missed this. This deep, safe, unwavering love that doesn't need to shout to be heard. That doesn't need to chase because it already knows. What's real doesn't run. This love will walk beside you through fire, through storms, through silence. And they'll keep choosing you, not just once but every day. With tired eyes, with shaky hands, with an open heart, they will say, I choose you again and again. When the world is loud, they will be your quiet. When the world is heavy, they will be your rest. When your faith wavers, they will remind you of who you are and whose you are. This love isn't about fixing each other. It's about holding space while God does the healing. It's not about needing each other out of desperation. It's about choosing each other freely every single day. And yes, you'll cry. Not from pain, but from awe. From the overwhelming beauty of being loved this way, of finally being seen, of finally being safe, of finally being home. Because love, real love, isn't a performance. It's presence. It's partnership. It's peace. And you deserve that. You were made for that. The angels want you to know you haven't missed your chance. You're not too late. You're not behind. Your love story isn't over. It's only just begun. Heaven is still writing. God is still aligning. The ink hasn't dried on your story. If it feels quiet right now, if it seems like nothing is moving, that's just the space between chapters. It's the sacred stillness before the breakthrough. So don't stop believing. Don't stop hoping. Don't stop preparing, because they're preparing too. Your soulmate is learning your language without even realizing it. They're becoming the kind of person who can love you like heaven intended. And soon, sooner than you think, your paths will cross again. Not by accident, not by luck, but by divine appointment. And when it happens, you'll know. You won't need to force it. You won't need to chase it. It will feel natural, holy, right. The kind of right that settles your soul. So take a deep breath. You've made it through the hardest parts. Now it's time to receive the love you were born to carry. But before you go, pause for a moment. If this message resonated with your soul, don't leave without doing something sacred in return. Subscribe to Angel Messages for you so these angelic whispers can find you again and again. Like this video. Comment with a powerful word that reminds your soul of its purpose. And if you feel called, bless this space with a super thanks to support the flow of divine love to hearts like yours. Remember, you didn't find this message by accident. You were guided here because love is closer than you think. The angels are revealing that your soulmate has fallen for that rare, beautiful gift. Inside you, it's time to believe in the miracle of your love story. The best is still unfolding, and the angels are cheering you on every step of the way.